4?
Uh, let's talk about both of them just
Okay.
so we hit everything. But we're only on week 3, aren't we? Or are we on week 4? I had a bye this week, so
Yeah. I played last night. Played Alex.
that's right. So week 4, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're back. Week 4, we're talking about. Yeah, we gave you some behind the footage to talk about what we're going to talk about because, I mean, we're all about trying to keep this podcast new and fresh. So, hey, you heard us, Stocks and me, talking about what we're going to break down, and we're going to break it all down, man. You said it, the Saints in the Jacksonville Jaguar game. You got to talk about this, man. There's a lot better game to talk about than the other one. So, there's no
Yeah.
better place
No.
to start than this one.
Finally, I got to play Alex because last season he had his mishap with his router, so it was disappointing. I was
Yep.
really looking forward to this game because I played Alex in just a nonchalant game, and I remember being playing against him, and he was really solid. Um, our game was pretty tight. At halftime, it was 14-21. I was up. The Blaine Gabbert came into play with he threw a couple costly picks. But then you had Maurice Jones-Drew ran well.
Mm-hmm.
For 62 yards. I mean, he played well.
Mm-hmm.
My defense basically kind of not saved me, but probably put more pressure on Gabbert in the hole versus
Well,
think you know what I mean. And then on my side, Mark Ingram ran pretty well for 219 yards, but he had an 80-yard run, so that kind of padded his stats for that one.
I'll let you keep breaking it down, but I got 3 main questions I think that can storyline this game and the headlines to this game.
Also I was kind of worried about the Drew Brees rolling on if he's going to come back from a bounce back game, and he pretty much did.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty much with that. So in all, it was a good game. At halftime, it was only a 7-point game, and then Blaine Gabbert threw those couple costly picks, which changed the game.
Well, I'll get to my headlines to this game. First of all, I see 4 interceptions from Blaine Gabbert, and I know Alex can throw the ball a little bit. Do you think Blaine Gabbert can be Jacksonville's franchise quarterback? Just point blank. I mean, we blamed it the first year on rookie mistakes, so he'll progress. Can he be that quarterback?
I think the jury's still out on Gabbert. Looking at his year stats, I mean, his first game against Cincinnati, he threw for 310 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Second game, 218, 2 interceptions. The third game we won't talk about, and then the fourth game, 4 interceptions. So Gabbert is maybe forcing the ball, in some holes where he kind of shouldn't be. Maybe he should just be checking it down. Taking a quick look at his stats, his 3 stats. See, he's got great throw short accuracy at 97. His medium's a 90, but his deep's a 68. There's a big fluctuation between the 97 and the 68 there. So if his interceptions are coming on the deep ball, maybe that's the problem, and maybe that could be one of the things, because his throw power is a 90. I mean, he's 6'5".
I'll just say this: the guy couldn't be my quarterback. For my system, I don't know how you played Alex. I haven't played Alex in a franchise game, so I haven't seen him really use Blaine Gabbert. I take a lot of chances with the deep ball. There's no chance. I mean, I have Kelvin Johnson. I always have a big receiver. That's how I play the game. I could not use this guy.
Yep.
He's great for a tight end heavy offense. The Vikings. This would be a good guy. A guy that's gonna manage the game. He'd be perfect.
Well, he's an overall 80, and the way I played him, I just kind of kept everything in front of me. I know he had Santonio Holmes, and he was a deep threat, and he still had five catches for 115 and 2 touchdowns. So I know he was his main threat. So I kind of just played the nickel and cover and everything, trying to keep everything underneath me.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was down, that's kind of maybe when he was pressuring and probably hurt himself doing that.
My second question is, do you think you could really get rid of Blaine Gabbert in a cap league where he's probably making some pretty good money, and if you bring in a rookie quarterback to start fresh, that's going to cost you a coin or two too. So, that's the thing. Is he stuck, or do you think you can get out of it, or maybe?
I think he's stuck, as in you can't really judge him yet. Maybe he's going through a sophomore slump. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just his stats are there. The 97 short throw is great. I mean, that's great. I mean, you can't. You gotta use that, and that's the same thing with Breeze. Breeze is a 99, so the short passes need to be on target, and then try to stay away from the deep throw somewhat. I know you need to take your shots sometimes.
Well, yeah.
But that's his weak fall. So.
But that's like trying to run with Ryan Mallett. Trying to run the Tim Tebow offense with Ryan Mallett. It's not his strong suit. I mean, I know it sounds funny, but think about it. It's not his strong suit, so you're not going to do it. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I agree. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I couldn't use him. I mean, God bless Alex. He can, you can have him, kind of thing. But I don't know. I think that's it for the storylines from this game. So, what other game catches your eye?
The Week 4 matchup. You just informed me, Manny versus Kansas City.
Yeah, I want to break this one down again with some storylines. I'll let you break down the stats. I'll hit you with some questions and some storylines I found out from this game.
Okay, yeah, the Chiefs came out with a big win over the Packers, 34-21.
Yeah.
You got Aaron Rodgers, 36 of 21 for 313, 2 interceptions and 1 touchdown. The good point was James Starks actually still keeping an eye on that Packers running game, and Starks ran well. 13 carries, a 63-yard long, 95 yards rushing. But on the other side, newly acquired Matt Schaub went to Kansas City from the Texans. 3 touchdowns, 315 passing. So the new quarterback fit in well.
Yes, sir.
And the rookie Sanders, 4 catches, a touchdown, and a $124.
Well,
so
that's my storylines from the game. You broke down the stats. I'll break down the story. The story is he got Matt Schaub, and surprisingly pretty cheap. I think it's because Matt Schaub, if I'm not mistaken, is a free agent coming up, and the Texans got a massive amount of free agents and cap things he's got to work out. So this was probably a good move for the Texans to get rid of him, because he's not going to be able to re-sign him, I don't believe. And I think he's moved down with a rookie. But for the Chiefs to get Matt Schaub, to actually get I played Lord, the owner, a few times in previous franchises where he had a kind of a deep threat quarterback kind of deal. And this is his kind of quarterback, and he proved it with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Listen, hey, when you throw no interceptions in this Madden specifically, you're doing something right, because you really have to read defenses in this game. This particular edition of Madden. So, and if you don't, you'll get picked. And to have 3 touchdowns and no picks, and it wasn't like he wasn't pushing the ball down the field. I mean, he had 66 yards. That was running. He had 124 yards. With one receiver. 75 with Matt Forte, which is probably short, but still, he comes back with Baldwin with 59. So he was pushing the ball down the field, it seems. I mean, you're talking about...
they definitely opened it up a little bit more with the Schaub factor,
Yeah.
We look at the stats, and you still see McCluster, 2 carries for 3 yards. So, I think we talked about that a couple podcasts ago. And still nothing, but also Forte, only 66 yards rushing. So the Chiefs have a weapon there, and they're going to be interesting. And they're 2-2. So, that team's going to be very interesting.
But we talked about it. We were wrong on Forte, because remember, he was injured, and we were breaking down the season. The Chiefs, he's slowly getting better with Forte. If you look at Forte's numbers, he's slowly getting better week by week. Well, let me break it down more specifically, but he's slowly getting better week by week by week. Let's see. Week 1 he has, let me see, 20. No, that's receiving. Yeah, he had 42 yards week 1. Week 2 he had 34, and then like I don't know if it's weakest opponents if they were heavy pass, but he had 79 week 3 and then 66 week 4. So he's definitely you know they say in real life and football all the time, in any kind of football, it doesn't matter what level, if it's a video game or real. As the weeks go on, you got to develop that running game, because when the cold weather comes and these type of games get more competitive, you got to rely more on the running game. And so week by week, we've seen a progression from Matt Forte, and now with Matt Schaub, he's only going to be a dual threat, if you will. So that's an interesting story to keep track of throughout the season. With Matt Schaub, do the Chiefs become a playoff contender, or are they a pretender? That's going to be the question. I don't think either one of us could answer it today.
No, not yet. The table's still out. The team's good, but we shall see.
One more game this edition, and we'll come back with another one, and we'll wrap the show up. But the game that sticks out for me, I don't even want to talk about. I'm on a bye week this week, thank goodness, because my season hasn't been very good. There's been some fluctuation in Detroit. I'll tell you, I'm working on some things because I cannot play the defense I've been playing lately. It's not been good. Tight ends have just been shredding me up like cheese, man. You might as well get your shredder out and have a taco on my behalf or something, man, because I tell you what, I'm giving up anything. I guess I'm old St. Nick or something, because, man, my bag of toys, I'm giving out everything.
Every day is Christmas when we play against Hogan.
I guess so, man. The Jolly Red Lions, I guess. Forget the Hawaiian blue. I better start wearing some red. But no, my division, man, it's tough. I'm glad to see Manny lost, in all honesty. I mean, because I don't know, with Minnesota and Green Bay starting off hot, and the Bears, I don't think have lost yet. So.
Well, we got a big showdown coming up. The Bears 3-0 against the Falcons 3-0.
Yeah, and I tell you what, man, I swear it wasn't just me. If it was just me, maybe I am St. Nick after all. But that tight end is hard to stop.
We talked about him, and I mean, his attributes were sick. His height was ridiculous. His speed. I mean, we called it. We talked about it. Alex talked about him.
Yeah, we talked about it I mentioned drafting him so highly. I mean, tight ends usually don't go that high, but this guy's, he could be a wide receiver. I remember preaching that from the top of my lungs. This guy really can play wherever you put him. And the only reason he doesn't score as many touchdowns is because he gets them so close to the goal line. All they gotta do is pop it in. They don't got. But I tell you what, in the middle, he's very hard to stop if you don't got a linebacker who can stick with him. And without my linebacker, maybe it was just me. I hope it was for the sake of this league, because that guy's a weapon. There's been some one side. I thought maybe me getting blown out by Washington last week was just me, maybe playing bad, maybe can't. But I tell you what, the Redskins and that rookie quarterback have finally found their stride.
Yeah, they definitely have. They come out and beat a good Jets team 17-7. I mean, both of those teams probably don't play each other a lot, so they don't know. But that newcomer is definitely showing off. He's got some new stuff in his pocket. He still threw 3 interceptions, but 2 touchdowns for 315. So, he spread the ball out to like almost 10 wide receivers. So he's looking,
I'll tell you what he does. Well, at least in my game, he looks middle all the time. He's not going to take many chances with the deep ball. When he does, he usually connects because you're not expecting it. He goes middle, short, middle, run. He's all over. I mean, like you said, he delivers the ball so spectacular to all these guys. I mean, Halu got one. Hightower, got one. Hankerson's a beast, by the way. Cooley, that's who beat me last week, was Cooley. But, I mean, he's slowly understanding, hey, I got to run with this Peter Newcomer because this guy can, he's got wheels. I might not be a running quarterback type of guy, which I don't think he is because he only took off once for like 7 yards against me. But I think he's starting to realize, hey, I got this weapon. I got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it makes it dangerous. He rushed for 47 yards on 5 attempts.
Yeah, listen, hey
I
man.
mean, that's dangerous.
Hey man, Redskins. I know you're not a runner, but man, that's a dangerous weapon. And you're starting to use him. I think great. And I really think you could contend. Maybe not this year. Maybe let the rookie salivate a little bit and learn the league. And but in a year or so, you're a dangerous guy. And maybe this year, prove me wrong, man. Because it looks better that I lost to you the more games you win. So go ahead and prove me wrong all you want. But I really think next year could be your year. We talked about it, man. The Eagles with all their great players, but great players don't stay great forever. And this kid, I talked to him before, and he really believes, okay, I'll struggle for 1 year. I'll struggle, maybe a year and a half. But I'm bringing young kids in. I'm bringing young guys. He's basically remodeling this team, man. And
yeah, that's fun to watch. I like watching that, and then I definitely give props to someone that's doing their work like that. I mean, that's awesome that you're gonna rebuild a Redskin team, which in real life they could use that right now, and you're
yeah.
doing it on here. So it's pretty fun to watch. I'm definitely,
Well,
I'm rooting for him.
yeah, Hankerson's a nice young talent, and he really is out of Miami. I think in real life he'll develop into a really good receiver. And I think in this game he'll even be more dangerous. He's got Damian Williams, the Tennessee in real life, the Tennessee wide receiver, who's developing very nicely in real life. And I mean the Redskins got him in Madden developing pretty nicely too. So he's got weapons, and he's saying I might be young, but keep your eye on me, and I'm definitely doing that. Any other games that really stick out to you from maybe last week?
The thing that kind of catches my eye is the Super Bowl defending champ, the Raiders, are in a little bit of a hole. It's early in the season, I know it's all that, but he's 0-3.
Yeah.
He's going up against a Miami Dolphins team this week. The game hasn't been played yet. But the struggles early on maybe could be a Super Bowl hangover. I know he played a tough Bears team. He ended up losing 45-21. So, he's not, the schedule, he had schedule right there. It's tough. So he's been playing tough games since last year. So he's probably bound to have a few bad games, and maybe that's the start. Maybe. So.
Well, he was 9-7 coming into the playoffs, and I know that was with some sim losses. The games he actually played, he was really good at. Maybe people are just starting to catch up to him. I know we've talked about it many of times, but this league is really parity, man.
Oh yeah, anybody can beat anybody at any given day.
I mean, I harp back to it, but the Chargers going from the worst pick in the league to really maybe contending in that division. To really putting up some impressive numbers with Gates and his West Coast offense. I know he loves to run, and those so parity is key in this league, and that's we talked about it. The playoffs coming down to I think it was week 16 that came down to, man. Didn't know who was going to get in the playoffs. That just speaks to the
it's
parity.
It's going to be like that again this year, too. You know it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if it isn't, I'll be surprised. There'll be some divisions that will be declared early. There always will be. But then there'll be those. NFC North, I think, comes down to the last couple weeks. I think the NFC South comes down to the last few weeks. I think the AFC with the Broncos and the Raiders and all those guys, the Chargers, it could come down to that last week, because the Chargers and the Broncos have the same record at 3-1, I think. So, the Raiders, if he wants to go back to the playoffs, he better do some work, and he better do it pretty quick. I don't know. The Texans proved to be coming back. These guys might now. These guys are guys who didn't make the playoffs, last year. The Chargers didn't make it last year. The Texans didn't make it, and they posted some pretty good stats. Although, the Texans kind of shot himself in the foot a little bit with the whole shenanigans there. Let's talk about a team let's kind of shift away from the scores real quick. We're gonna shift away. We'll come back, and I want to talk about a few teams. And Stocks is gonna play contender or pretender when we come back.